In this economic update, we'll look at the September 22nd Vasil hard fork and how it will actually allow programs to run, provide usable apps, and provide value to the overall economic environment. Therefore, I'll leave the timestamps for each of the several sections in the text that follows. We can see that Cardano is responding well to the Vasil hard fork's excellent news. Confirm now for September 22nd. There may still be unforeseen circumstances that cause a delay. However, that is the verified date. And it is clear that, for the most part, each member in the ecosystem is carrying out their assigned duties. So sure, XRP has actually increased by 14% since we last flipped it. The true value is to be added over the long term, which is what I will discuss in this video, although the last 7 days is obviously good conjecture here. So, as we can see, the input-output themselves Vasil upgrade date has been confirmed, following the successful completion and thorough testing of all core components, plus confirmed community readiness, which is really important as well. Remember, the SP has had a problem here with the upgrade, and they have voiced that concern, which is what has delayed it for a while. Therefore, input-output does not have any power over what occurs on ADA. Rather, a community of diverse individuals must ultimately agree for the upgrading to take place. Therefore, why is the Vasil upgrade necessary? For instance, what determines value? Why is this cause for excitement? Vasil, on the other hand, brought improved network capacity and low-cost transactions, making it the most significant Cardano improvement to date. Plutus will also receive improvements as part of the upgrade, giving developers the ability to produce more robust and effective blockchain-based applications. I've been saying this for a while, this is it. In terms of speculation about upgrades and costs, this is, in my opinion, the last Cardano upgrade to really get excited about. And during the last bull market, we observed various Cardano and blockchain advancements that significantly influenced price. I believe Cardano is currently in a position where sufficient rich applications can launch. We are now examining those applications in order to create value. Long-term value will be created by doing this rather than merely announcing technology upgrades, because technology is only important if people use it. Naturally, we have a stake in ADA. Therefore, we want people to recognize this value, and applications that people can utilize are what ultimately motivates individuals, especially more people. So let's quickly discuss ADA as well. We have a Cardano group that I update frequently with, some of my research kind of in real time. A lot of people are live in that group as well and actually communicate with a lot of ADA investors, so if you want to check that out along with 200 other videos on crypto and investing and kind of how to start with this, click the link in the description. Everything is there. I'll soon be adding some videos to it as well. So look at the LinkedIn profile. What are the further steps for the Vasil hard fork? As you can see, the main net, Vasil DevNet Preview, and Vasil Pre-Production Net are practically complete. As you can see above, the 22nd is the date that you are aware of. The hard fork must occur on 75% of nodes, which has been achieved with 87% of updated nodes. As we can also see down below, you do require numerous exchanges. These are approaching because Nance is almost there, and it appears that Mexi is only a few others ready. The biggest one was definitely initiated by Nance, right by Nance and Maxi, and presumably Coinbase as well. A few other smaller ones weren't created by Nance, but yeah. These three are most likely the three, but they're still being worked on. So they're making progress. The volume traded on the other exchanges is also substantially lower. The top DAP projects, as you can see above, need to be prepared for vessels, which is really crucial. Additionally, they require time for testing. As you can see, a couple of these have previously undergone testing. Lending Plum, Lending Pond, ADA, and D Quadrant here with a few apps that have been thoroughly examined, and you also have a few that are still being tested. So I'll also talk about ADA, which will actually launch on September 13th, a day before the Vasil hard fork. A lending protocol is ADA. As a result, this is crucial in getting people to Cardano. Right. People shouldn't merely speculate about the pricing if they have a use case. It's over for me now. So this is what makes me happy. So let's examine ADA and their activities. They're going to effectively be asking, are they right? As you can see, ADA. So, according to their lending protocol, they would add some assets, lend them out with excessive collateral, and receive a yield. ADA, let's have a look at this and see what they're doing here. ADA Finance is a completely decentralized protocol for lending and borrowing, as you can see. Therefore, in my opinion, Smart Chain is quite straightforward if you've ever utilized AAVE or Venus for banking. Add some resources to that. People can borrow them, use them for their own purposes, and pay you interest, correct? This is constructed using Cardano. Blockchain-based smart contracts enable peer-to-peer lending and borrowing of assets using a special non-violent, non-fungible token bonding technique. So, this is a little different with Cardano. Along with NFTs and Uniswap, NFT-based liquidity provider tokens are also more common on Ethereum. So, it is occurring everywhere. But because of Cardano and the availability of native tokens, they can do it relatively easily and cheaply. So, as we can see, the ADA will be adding new tokens. Therefore, if you possess any of these, you may lend them. Then obviously you receive a dividend from everybody who borrows them for their varied tactics. NFT bonds are visible in this instance. Therefore, one of the things in this situation is that NFT bonds essentially allow whoever owns one to sell it to someone else, which is a very uncommon thing to do. Let's imagine someone is borrowing some tokens from you. Therefore, it is clear that a debt is involved. Now you have the option of selling both the NFT and the debt obligation. In essence, this is what banks were doing with mortgage-backed securities and other products of this nature, which is to sell off various bonds. If you have ever worked in finance, you are aware that banks frequently sell loans to third parties in order to remove them from their books. Therefore, they seek to get rid of any liabilities they may have. As a result, it makes it possible to trade debt, which is obviously a very important use case within the financial ecosystem. The fact that you can view this as a usable token, which I'll discuss right now, makes it really intriguing to watch. Thus, this is a test network in the lending protocol. Therefore, as you can see, this does somewhat resemble an RV, but you have a loan here, and you have put up collateral. As a result, you can select a token to loan or borrow. ADA serves as the security, and ADA is used to collect interest. These can actually be moved around a little bit, as far as I know. Therefore, you might maybe pay interest in one token and put up collateral in another. Since it is so simple to move assets around, there are obviously many various things you can do with the method that I know that could function. Since the platform is still in testing, I no longer collaborate with Adria Tour and do not suggest it in any way. So, I'd advise starting out really slowly. If, in terms of tokenomics, that is something you are interested in, the way applications often work is that they have a significant portion of tokens reserved for the team, early investors, and liquidity incentives. Why would anyone use their application, after all? They receive incentives to do so, therefore they would undoubtedly do it. Right? Therefore, that basically takes the shape of what they called liquidity mining incentives or something similar. So, as you can see, the general population is divided by 14%. It's not much, exactly. Therefore, many of these programs have a small public distribution, which I would guess is about where most applications go these days. Next, you have a 20% private round, yet, if you look at advisors, you also have core team. I believe that about 50% of the investment is made by insiders. For me, this is the point where Cardano can now compete with its rivals thanks to Nance's smart chain, Polygon's fully functional ecosystem, and Solana's as well, even though the blockchain has significant problems. You have borrowing and lending, you have trading, and you have a sizable chunk here that is staking and governance, which I'm sure will also include marketing and liquidity incentives. There are still no reliable coins, which is my biggest concern. This is a very serious basic problem. You must have steady coins, else you're basically wearing a lead weight around your ankle. Users who are not yet enrolled in the system desire to trade, lend, and borrow using stable currency. Why there aren't stable coins here is a mystery to me. I'm sure you know what a fiasco it was when Nomad tried to bring stable currency across and it was hacked. Use of stable currencies over bridges should be avoided because they are dangerous in any system. You need steady currency, which is the main problem here. And I'm aware that JED, a decentralized stablecoin, is also coming and that Vasil will assist with JED. However, in my opinion, most individuals prefer to utilize USDC and USDT. They must thus come over. And hopefully that's what comes next. Regarding that, there are currently no significant updates. And to me, that is always the most crucial development that lets us realize that. But today we also require such stable currency. Learn more about the cryptocurrency ecosystem if you want to discuss Cardano or if you just want to be informed. All of these videos are available in the Cryptocurrency Investor course. You can come and join the private Discord groups as well, and I'll be creating some new ones based on my findings. There are thousands of investors there, and we also have a cut for a particular group. That link will remain in the description. Thanks. As many teachers were watching, I'm James. You'll meet me in the following.